Hey everyone, I'm back, and today we're going to be talking about Dredd, and this movie came out in 2012, and I enjoyed this movie. I didn't love it like a lot of people who've seen this movie have, but I think it's an entertaining movie, and I do have issues with it, but I still like the movie by the end of the day, and what I like about it, I really like Carl Urban's performance as Judge Dredd. I think I said his name right. He's really good in the movie, and throughout the entire movie he has like the same face. It's like you don't see the top half of his face, you see this much, and he's always like frowning like, I am the law. And he's pretty much like that the whole movie, and it's kind of funny. And this movie does take itself pretty seriously, but there are some things about it that are kind of cheesy that I think are intentional. Like, it has some cheesy, fun gore in the movie, and at points it does kind of look like a Saw movie. Like, not with the gore, but like how certain colors stood out, like green, sometimes blue. It was mostly like the green in certain shots that kind of reminded me of like the Darren Lynn Bousman Saw sequels, except for Spiral. And it just reminded me of that. And like I said, this movie's entertaining throughout. It's not boring. It's nice and short. It's only 90 minutes, which is nice. And you can just put it on and just enjoy it. And just have fun. And that's what it's setting out to do. And I had fun, but I was also kind of frustrated at certain points while I was having fun. Like, for example, there's a character that Judge Dredd is supposed to like tutor, and he just calls her rookie, and her whole character is that she's wanting to be a judge, and what judges do is they enforce the law. They are the law, and like they give you either two options: to just accept your fate and just go to prison for the rest of your life or whatever, or die. And she just wants to be that. And this character kind of failed her test, but by like 3 points. But the reason she's allowed to like go into field activity is because she's a mutant, and she can read minds. And the movie is a little inconsistent with that. What I mean by that is she can get in people's heads, right? But throughout the entire movie, she never reads Judge Dredd's head for some reason. And she never wears a helmet like any of the other judges do. And her reasoning for doing that is because it makes it harder for me to use my abilities. And I can't read other people's minds if I can't use my ability. Or if I have this helmet on, sorry. And I was like, okay, so maybe you just can't read the minds of a judge because of that helmet that they have on. But later in the movie, she can read the mind of a judge for some reason. It's like, why? How does that make any sense? And throughout the entire movie, she's just asking Judge Dredd, what should I do? What should I do? And it's all supposed to be a test. And I'm like, you're kind of just picking and choosing what she can and cannot do in any given scene. And that was kind of annoying. But going back to positives, I liked the action in the movie, and like I said, I enjoyed the gore. But what really annoyed me during the action scenes was the sound mixing. And this is one of those movies where it's really loud in the loud parts and really quiet in the not loud parts. And the villain in this movie, I couldn't understand a word she was saying unless I had subtitles on. And thankfully I had subtitles on just so I don't miss anything. And that helped me throughout the entire movie. But oh my god, if you try to watch this movie without them, you're not going to be able to understand what she's saying at all. And there are plenty of parts where all I can say is that if I did not have subtitles on, I would have absolutely no clue as to what some of these characters are saying, because either they're just too quiet or the music and sound effects are just mixed too loud, and I can't hear anything else outside of that. And the characters are kind of cartoonish, and there's plenty of dialogue in the movie that's just really ridiculous. But it's not self-aware about it. It kind of just takes itself seriously, and like the goofy moments, I don't take off points for it, but it does get a little confusing as to like what kind of tone are we going for. I get that we're supposed to be going for something that's really cool, and I like that about the movie. It's clear as to what it wants to do is just to be really cool. It takes place in one location, just this one building for the most part. And it's kind of like Die Hard mixed with Saw a little bit. And it's good. Not nearly as good as those two movies, like the original Saw at least, and the original Die Hard. But at the same time, I just left wishing it was better than it was. And there are definitely things that I liked about it. There are things that are holding it back from being something really special to me. But in the end, I will rewatch this movie. I don't regret seeing it, and I can recommend it despite my issues with it. So go check out this movie. I think it's good. And apparently a lot of people really love it. And this is just one of those movies that when it came out just didn't get the attention it deserved, as like a lot of people say. And I wouldn't say this movie is underrated. I would just say overlooked, because underrated implies that people didn't like it when it first came out, but over time people liked it. Or like I have an unpopular opinion, like I liked a movie that a lot of people didn't like. And in this case, I would say this movie was overlooked simply because it just didn't make the money that it did. And the budget for this movie was $50 million. And it grossed $41 million worldwide. So it didn't do too well when it came out, but like the people who did see it, from what I understand, do like it. If they don't like it, they love it for the most part. And I'm one of those people who enjoyed it. So check this movie out if you haven't already, if it sounds interesting to you. And I'm going to give Dredd a 6 out of 10. Thank you for watching my videos as always. If you enjoyed this review, be sure to leave a like and comment down below what you thought of Dredd, and my social media links, they will all be in the description down below, so follow me there. And last but not least, subscribe to be a part of Foley Nation, and I'll see you when I get my next review up, and that is going to be for Identity, directed by James Mangold, so look forward to that. But until I get that up, thank you for watching and have a great day.